statement of purpose.
My statement of purpose for the post of General Secretary, Socialist Culture is the largest students in Ghana, Indian Institute of Technology, Ghana.
Janta, candidate will not be controversial in this part of the state.
2027 is as follows. Inspired by Swami Vivekananda's words, arise, awake, serving as the participation coordinator along with three other core organizing team members. Led a team of 43 associate members of Science Fest 2025, ensuring the participation and strengthening the travel confirmation. On sponsorship and marketing front, I work in the sponsorship drive in Delhi and Kolkata through engaging alumni with structured networking and publicity. With these results has contributed to contribution of more than 6 lakh rupees with additional contribution of Kolkata. My contribution in event front is been primarily focused on hitchhike nationwide prelims in Ahmedabad and Patna and hitchhike nationwide elimination in Odisha and Raipur. I, serving as the contact of nationwide elimination of Raipur, has gained a participation of more than 600 registrations, accounting as the third highest region in the publicity and media outreach domain. I also contributed in execution and organization of nationwide hitchhike elimination of Bhubaneswar, which is accounting the registration and participation as the second highest region among all the regions. During my first time responsibility, I was fortunate enough to again get the responsibility of Netaji Auditorium and main building, where I coordinated under the guidance of core organizing team at the inauguration ceremony and all the major flagship events such as Centrifuge, Shake a Leg, Two for a Tango, and Nitya Kala, serving as a major crowd extension at the time of fest. I also managed to organize 3 guest lectures at Netaji Auditorium. These involvements also motivated and get
2025 when coming to 2026, and what were the new events that were added? Name all of them.
Sir, I don't want to waste the time of general body as their time is precious. If you want to know all the event details, you can meet me after my statement of purpose. I can surely tell you each and every event that are conducted in Spring Fest 2025 and 2026.
Lokesh, you mentioned that you had conducted 3 guest lectures in Netaji Auditorium. Can you tell me the name of all those guests?
The guest lecture that are conducted at Netaji Auditorium in Spring Fest 2026 are as follows. Mr. Akash Gupta, the actress of Kalipotna web series, and Captain Dharamveer Singh. You said you manage the alumni contributions of Delhi and Kolkata, but your numbers have a very drastic YOY decrease. Why is it? Why did it happen? It increased drastically over the 2 years, and your numbers don't justify the alumni contributions for Delhi and Kolkata. So, first of all, not for such baseless allegations on the record of hard work of core organizing team members who was a part of positive drive of Delhi. They have worked very hard to get the contribution. And as far your question is concerned, due to minor economic changes, the alumni couldn't able to contribute this year.
Lokesh, as you mentioned, you have conducted nationwide prelims and nationwide elimination. Could you name the genres and number of events in that?
Sir, the number of genres in Spring Fest 2026 in hitchhike nationwide eliminations are 6, and the number of events as follows are 13 number of events in the respective genres.
Lokesh, I have said name the genres and number of events. Please listen question carefully.
Finalists, no follow-up. The candidates have answered your
If you
question.
insist, I may tell you the number of genres and names of them. There are a total of 6 genres in hitchhike nationwide elimination, and names of them are as follows: dance, dramatic, music, humor fest, film fest, and literary fest.
Lokesh, you mentioned that you have conducted the hitchhike prelims in Patna, right? But according to my knowledge, hitchhike prelims were never conducted in Patna. So is it that the eliminations were only conducted in Patna till date?
Sir, I kindly request you to recheck your facts. The hitchhike nationwide Patna was successfully conducted with the participation of impressible, which significantly contributed to the overall football in the Spring Fest 2026, which resulted, as I mentioned in my statement of purpose, 40% from previous year.
Lokesh, you can get back to your place.
My proposal for the post of General Secretary Social and Cultural Technology Students in Ghana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, for the academic session 2026-2027 is as follows. Proposal 1 is regarding introduction of Freshers Cultural Night. My objective is to provide a first-year student with open and encouraging platform to explore their interests and identify their strengths across various social and cultural domains. It will act as a low-pressure entry point to the institute cultural ecosystem. My second proposal for the same is to conduct cultural workshop for postgraduate is to provide major cultural events often lack during continuity as valuable insights and resources from past year remain scattered or undocumented. This leads to repetitive efforts and inefficiencies. Establishing a structured and centralized repository would streamline preparation, reducing redundancy and improving overall efficiency. My fourth proposal for the same is the introduction of Open IT Pro Battle. There is currently limited representation of improvisational acts such as spontaneous acting and quickly thinking performances format within the cultural ecosystem. Including an improv-based event would provide a unique platform for creativity and on-spot expression, attracting a new segment of participation.
Lokesh, regarding your first proposal, why is there a need of Freshers Cultural Night when many societies and departments conduct their Freshers Night?
So, you have clearly gone through my proposal for the post of General Secretary Social and Culture. There is a certain need of freshers for performing straight after the induction program so that they can identify the weakness and strength, and for the same they can apply in the selection of various cultural and social societies present at Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur.
But for that same motivation, Open IT is conducted so people can showcase their talent even in the first year.
But the Open IT is a scattered event in which all genres are not included. In cultural night, there will be collaborating of all genres, providing a specific platform for the freshers to show their talent and motivate them to provide and to get into the selection of various social and cultural activities.
Where are you going to find the time of it after induction?
So, after talking to the respective stakeholders, after induction, there is ample amount of time to create this event of Freshers Cultural Night.
Lokesh, my question is regarding proposal to cultural workshop for PG and RS scholars. So this is regarding how you will conduct this program after post lab, because post lab is till midnight. So after midnight, how will you conduct this?
So, my proposal for the second proposal, conducting workshop for postgraduate and research scholar students bases the integration of timeline which lacks in the other activities that are currently present in Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. It is after talks are actually complete by anthropologists. After talking with various representatives of postgraduate and research scholar students, there is a certain need of structured social and cultural activities aligned with their timeline. And I've thought in the weekend they can have ample amount of time to at least attend and participate in this cultural workshop.
Yes, I am asking this because this needs clarity. Your proposal don't have clarity about the timings and slots. So you have mentioned. So this needs clarity. Your proposal in detail explanation of that.
Panelists, no statements. If you have any inputs, you can give after this session.
Lokesh, do you think it is practical to introduce a new Open IT in current time culture where 19 Open ITs and 24 GCs are not conducted in proper manner? Do you think it is practical?
So, after talking to the current General Secretary, Social and Culture, I came up with this solution which has an immediate need for the performances of inter-IT culture meet, which include improved Technology Comedy Club and Technology Dramatic Society, providing a feedback which is positive towards this proposal of mine for the same.
Lokesh, this is about your proposal about Open IIT Pro Battle. I understand your intention behind adding this event in Open IIT. So first of all, I want to ask, why are you preferring Open IIT over GC for adding such an important event? And what is the procedure to add an event in Open IIT?
So, there is a certain need for Open IT Pro Battle. After talking with various stakeholders, they have said that in general championship social and culture, they couldn't have more number of events as there is very tight schedule for the current general championship social and culture. And for the same reason, there is a need of Open IT Pro Battle.
Lokesh, you did not complete your answer. I asked you what is the procedure to add any event in Open IIT.
Sir, could you please more elaborate your question?
What is the procedure to add any new event in Open IIT social and cultural? What procedure will you follow to add this new event? Am I clear?
Yes, sir, you're clearly audible. Sir, after concerning with the various stakeholders, the current general secretaries, social and cultural, are responsible for the conduction of Open IITs that are present in the social and cultural ecosystem of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur.
Lokesh, I have a simple question. Do you think that the selection procedure for the cup captains for the inter-IT is so inefficient regarding your third proposal that we need a separate resource portal to document their knowledge, cultural knowledge in order to pass on that? Do you think that?
So could you please rephrase your question?
I just said about your third proposal, you mentioned that you would be proposing for a cultural knowledge and resource portal, right? So I'm just asking a simple question that do you think that the selection procedure for the inter-IT cup captain is so inefficient that the captains are not capable of passing on their cultural knowledge that you need a separate resource portal for passing on that information?
Sir, if I have gone through my proposal clearly, I have clearly mentioned that it is for the motivation and sake of memories. It also helps the current cup captains of inter-IT cultural meet to gain some valuable insight from the past experience that they have faced, that they might lack in the future general championships and inter-IT cultural meet.
Lokesh, this will be the last question.
This will be the last question.
So in your proposal 1, you are talking about the online video submissions. Given 1,000 number of freshers, how are you planning to handle 100 plus submissions and who are you thinking will judge them effectively? So that's my question.
So, first of all, let me clear the fact there are not 100 freshers. There are around 2,000 freshers that come in Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. And for the same, I have mentioned in my proposal that I am going to judge through an online video submission, which will cater the participation of genuine participants by the respective judges who are going to judge the different genres of social and cultural activities for the same.
And who will be the judges for the same and how will you ensure that it's not favoring someone else?
Sir, the judges couldn't be biased about the performances through video online submission. I'm going to planning the judges from National Cultural Appreciation teachers and with various academies that are present in the Indian